But given this seemingly impossible state of affairs, I frequently find it necessary, especially after 22 years as a street nurse now, to find inspiration from unusual sources. And one of these sources, as my friends and family will know, is film. I have been inspired by documentary films, such as the anti-nuclear film, If You Love This Planet. It was one of the first films that really influenced me as a nurse. I've also been inspired by the documentary film footage that you all know of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. And more recently, the more Hollywood film, Invictus, all remind me of the power of social movements. And then there's that opening passionate line from the film Oliver, "Please, sir, I want some more." And that line today evokes the pain of hunger, and in times like this, it remains an echo of what I see and hear during this recession. Remember Dorothy's breathless and joyous closing line from The Wizard of Oz? "Toto, we're home, home, and this is my room, and you're all here. And I'm not going to leave here ever, ever again because I love you all. And oh, Auntie Em, there's no place like home." There are so many films about home, losing home, missing home, finding home again. Look at E.T. or Wall-E, Peter Pan, Gone with the Wind, or The Road, now on DVD, which is a film I am still having nightmares about. In our documentary film, Home Safe Toronto, a young girl who had been homeless tells us that the most important thing about home is, quote, being able to say you have one. And then there's a moment in the film when a young boy passionately tells the United Nations rapporteur, who was here investigating Canada's state of affairs, and he says, quote, "When you have a home, it's exactly like a protection, sort of like a force field from stuff that are dangerous. So sometimes when you're homeless, if you know that you're getting a decent home and you're going there soon, you kind of get overwhelmed with happiness. And that's what a lot of people want." And as the late Art Linkletter has said, kids say the darndest things. Pretty obvious. I recently watched a film called The Man in the Iron Mask about the Three Musketeers. Their famous line, which I'm sure many of you know, "One for all and all for one," strikes me as an appropriate message for this graduation today. As we fight to save social programs like Medicare, we need to look for messages like that. Health care for all, not just for those who can pay. But it is director Tim Burton's film Alice in Wonderland that gives me a new approach now to the seemingly impossible. Alice is now a teenager in this film, and she finds herself down the dark rabbit hole. And after a series of adventures, she faces the dragon-like creature called Jabberwocky, and she's expected to slay it. And Alice looks up at it and pronounces, "This is impossible." And the Mad Hatter, played by Johnny Depp, whispers in her ear, "Only if you believe it is." And Alice suddenly says to the Mad Hatter, "You know, sometimes I believe as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast." And the Mad Hatter turns to her and says, "Well, that's an excellent practice, but just for the moment, you might want to focus on the Jabberwocky." So it's not a spoiler alert to let you know that she does slay this dragon. So today, after 22 years as a street nurse, I've decided, and I'm not a morning person, I should say, but I've decided I am going to wake up every morning, like Alice, and I need to believe 6 impossible things before breakfast and stay focused on the Jabberwocky. And if any of you wonder who it is, I can tell you later. There's a couple of them. Because I do believe, I am still optimistic that it is inevitable that we will take the beast down and win a national housing program. and I hope a lot more, actually. Effort produces results, and all of you know that great effort is why you are all here today. I hope you will continue to be inspired to make great efforts in life, achieve many of your dreams, and also believe 6 impossible things before breakfast. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your convocation today. You all inspire me. Thank you.